Hello.
Hello. Hello, our dear friends. We're back. Semester has started. And we're in a lit class again.
Yay! This time we're in studies of
19th century
literature together. And we just finished Pride and Prejudice.
Whoa.
Which I personally love Pride and
I
Prejudice.
love Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen.
Yeah.
Mr. Bennet is my favorite character ever.
He just gets he has so much sarcasm.
I just love... I'm gonna find my favorite thing real quick. It is beautiful. It's like on the first page. First to second page is the first discussion. The first thing we ever get in this book.
I'm just gonna stare at you awkwardly while you try to find this.
So this is a quote from Mrs. Bennet to her husband. And then I'm gonna follow with the Mr. Bennet quote. Mr. Bennet, how can you abuse your own children in such a way? You take delight in vexing me. You have no compassion on my poor nerves. You mistake me, my dear. I have high respect for your nerves. They are my old friends. I have heard you mention them with consideration these 20 years at least. I love this man. Beautiful.
I don't really know what else to say on Pride and Prejudice.
Well,
I mean, Mr. Darcy's pretty cool.
Mr. Darcy, well, you hate him when you don't hate him, but when you first meet Mr. Darcy, you're like, I thought I was supposed to like you.
No, I mean, this wasn't my first time reading it.
It wasn't mine either, but like I remember when I read it the first time, because I'd heard the main storyline of Pride and Prejudice.
And you've heard everyone go, I
love
Mr. Darcy,
Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth and blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there going, so reading it, and you meet Mr. Darcy, and I'm like, why does everyone like him?
I mean, I liked him at first, like from the first time I met him too, just because it was like, he's not afraid to be like, hey, you're ugly, I don't like you, go
You're not
away.
handsome enough to tempt me.
And like, that's just uncommon in 1800s
True.
England.
Oh.
So I thought he was pretty cool.
And I had the wonderfulness of reading this book with my newly acquired Pride and Prejudice bookmarks. This is my Elizabeth one. It is beautiful. It goes, only the deepest love will persuade me into matrimony, which is why I shall end up an old maid. I have a Mr. Darcy one too. That's beautiful. Yeah. So in case you don't know the plot of Pride and Prejudice, there's the Bennet family that have 5 daughters.
Let's see, there's Jane, who's the oldest, and Elizabeth. And
Kate. Isn't Katie? Kitty? Yeah,
no, Kitty.
Kitty, because she's older than Lydia by 2 years.
Is Mary older than Kitty, though?
I don't know. And then there's Mary.
Yeah, there's Mary, Kitty, and Lydia, who are the 3 youngest.
And they're wonderful. Well, I love Mary.
I personally like Lydia. Lydia's the rebel child. She runs away and elopes with an army officer.
This guy that no one likes.
Except Lydia. Lydia likes him.
And then there's Kitty, who when she can't go with Lydia is just bawling in a corner, and Mr. Bennet's like, I'm sure you'll be consoled eventually. Mr. Bennet!
And then there's Mary, who you never hear from in the book because she's just always in a corner reading in the library.
My favorite thing though is when Lydia and Kitty were throwing a fit over not being able to go. Mary's just like, I'd rather have a book.
Yeah. She's a mean spirit animal.
Mary is my spirit animal. I'd rather have a book. In all honesty, yeah, that's all nice and good, but books. And then Jane, who is
She's your stereotypical 18th century lady in England.
She's the type of girl that everyone wants their daughters to be like. Because she tries to only see the good in people. And by try, I mean she only sees the good in people until you point out their flaws.
And even then she's like,
well, maybe they had a reason. You're like, Jane, no. This guy is not a... No.
Just stop.
We don't like this guy. Oh, crap, he married your little sister. Basically how that went.
Basically.
And then there's... And so the the two sisters you mainly focus on are Jane and Elizabeth, because they're the closest.
Elizabeth's also a bit of a rebel child.
And she's actually our main... I think she'd be our main character.
Yeah.
Elizabeth's our main character. And it's mainly about those two finding love and marrying people and happiness. And then there's the Lydia thing that causes a whole bunch of problems.
Lydia's like my favorite character.
I like Mr. Bennet, Mary, and Elizabeth.
Like, I'm definitely going to write my paper over Lydia.
I'd probably write mine over Mary.
Because
Or
that'd be
Mr.
really
Bennet.
hard to write a paper over Mary, though.
True.
She's only mentioned in the book like 2 times. She's the forgotten daughter.
She is. Like, the first time I read this book, I got to the end, and I'm like, what happened to Mary? We're always focusing.
Like, all the other 4 are just so, like, not really high maintenance. And they're just
I think Kitty
Kitty and Lydia are high
are-
maintenance. Jane and Elizabeth's a little high maintenance, too, honestly.
Yeah. But
Jane's not.
But Lydia, Mother, I'm going to this place. I need new clothes. And I'm sitting there going, no, you don't. No, what's wrong with the clothes you have? It looks cute. We watched a snippet of the movie, and so we could see the period clothing. Like, it looks cute enough.
The one with Colin Firth. It's the only one worth watching.
Beautiful. I love that one. And even though they add a few things to it, I personally think the additions some of the additions were well worth it.
Yeah. Basically.
They gave you a little bit more Darcy.
Mm-hmm.
And it helped you understand him.
Yeah.
Yeah. We obviously have opinions on the characters.
Mm-hmm.
The book overall, how do you feel about it?
I like it. I could sit there and read Pride and Prejudice any day.
Yes, Pride and Prejudice is beautiful. Watching the movie, reading the book,
Oh, yeah. I could watch that movie. Even though the movie is like 8 hours, because it's really a mini-series, I could watch it anytime.
I could do it. There's also this movie called...
We should marathon it.
We should. There's also this movie called Austenland. And the main character is obsessed with Pride and Prejudice to the point where she literally goes to this place called Austenland. And she goes, I'm going to find my Mr. Darcy! And I'm like, oh, sweetie, he's a fictional character. But at the same time, that character in that movie has my favorite line ever. She goes, I am single because the only real men worth dating are fictional. And I'm sitting there going, oh, sweetie. That's so true. But stop that, because I can't really say anything.
We should marathon it over here sometime.
Yeah, and we should also watch Austenland.
Have you seen Emma? Like the
No.
mini-series Emma? It's
No.
another Jane Austen book. I love Emma so much, and you get so emotional, and you're just like, oh my god.
The other one that I'd really like to watch is Jane Eyre.
Jane Eyre's good.
Because I got given a copy of Jane Eyre because one of my high school professors was like, oh, you like classical literature? High school professor. High school teacher. I'm with
Jane
words
Eyre's
today.
good.
She gave me Jane Eyre. I can't get past Jane Eyre's childhood.
Bertha is like one of the most interesting characters I've ever read about, I think.
Yeah.
Bertha's a little cray-cray.
I'm
That's
reading
another
her
story.
childhood and I'm just sitting there like, I want to punch this lady.
Have you finished it?
No, I'm literally her childhood.
Oh,
I
so you
can't-
haven't met Bertha.
I can't read past. I'm like, okay, I'm getting past the childhood. 2
You
hours later.
Have you even got, like, what point have you gotten to? Has she gotten to Lowood?
She's at school.
Okay, it picks up from there.
She has a friend. Her friend is sick. I think they're sending her friend home. I think that's where I'm at.
Your friend Helen?
Yes.
Oh, you had such
That-
an emotional part.
That's why I'm having
Oh my
problems.
gosh.
Also, this has nothing to do with Pride and Prejudice, but I wanted to give you guys an update. I finished The Mortal Instruments. There'll be videos to come on that.
I haven't started them.
Megan should read them.
But you haven't finished Jane Eyre. I did.
But I started it.
Bertha is such a cool character. She's a little cray-cray.
And while we're on the Mortal
Spoiler
Instruments
alert, she burns the house down.
I figured. And while we're on the Mortal Instruments topic, I am now on The Bang Chronicles. Beautiful book. But we're going to get back to our 19th century literature. Not modern.
We're reading Frankenstein
Yeah.
now.
We're reading Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Personally, I love Frankenstein.
I'm not going to talk about my feelings on Frankenstein.
But we'll save this for another video.
When we finish it. So,
Which will be soon, I think.
yeah.
We're like plowing through it.
Isn't it next week already? We have presentations on.
I think so.
Oh god. Okay, so yes, we read Pride and Prejudice, and we will keep you updated on more 19th century literature and modern literature.
Mm-hmm.
And do you have any other books for any other lit classes you want to talk about?
No, because the only one we just finished was Jane Eyre. And I don't want to talk about it too much, because you haven't finished it.
I'm going to... Actually, we'll talk about this amongst ourselves, and we'll let you know how this goes.
Yeah.
But we'll talk to you later, okay?